Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Studio 70. And on the Chris Watts case topic again today, I'm Eju and I'm with the lovely Shirak. Sorry.
I'm Shirak. How you doing out there today? Remember, this is for educational entertainment purposes only. Do your own research and always be kind to everyone.
Yeah, please, everywhere. Thank you. And if you can, that would mean so much to us if you can like and subscribe. We're a new podcast
Share.
and we're retooling. Absolutely. Share comments. We're retooling to be focused more on true crime. So we are new. We're trying to get our numbers up to at least that 1,000 mark, if not a lot more. Want to keep going. We need your support. So thank you so much. And today, guess what we're going to talk about, Shirak?
We're going to talk about the Chris Watts case.
Yeah, the Chris Watts case. And more specifically,
That was easy.
yeah.
I don't know how
Sorry.
detailed we needed to be.
So we're going to talk about, let's see, let me get things situated here. Viewer comments on the Chris NK Battery lyrics. And I did find something. Let me explain a little further. So here, let me click on the next slide here. So for me, what I said in that big episode that we did talk about the case,
Yeah.
I said Chris had looked up the lyrics on his own and that he really didn't know the meaning of the song. And, it's something I miss and I'm hitting myself in the head. Like, and that's why I got the little icon there. But literally because I do vaguely remember hearing that during the episode where Chris did get when he was in prison. There was an audio interview with him, and he did mention that. But for some reason, when I was putting that episode together, I didn't remember that. And to be honest with you, I watch and listen to a lot of hours of coworker their interviews. I read a lot of documentation, and I'm hitting myself just for missing this. So thank you guys for pointing this out because that is correct. And let's go through it. So the viewer comments, and again, great catch. Thank you so much. As NK did tell him to look up the lyrics. So two of you guys mentioned that and pointed that out. So I will
How did they know about that again?
Exactly, because it was part of the interview that was done. I think it was in 2019 in February, and we're going to get to that, Shruck. We're gonna get into some more specifics.
Okay.
We're actually going to listen to it as well. So hang in there, guys, with me. Let me explain a little bit more. So the first thing I did is I was trying to find it in the redacted interview notes, the official notes.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So I got the information, I downloaded it off the site, but however, it just really has a summary. It doesn't really obviously dictate the actual conversation. It's kind of like notes. So it does mention that Kessinger liked the song Battery and asked him what this song meant. It was basically the interpretation of that particular part of the conversation. What I wanted to see what was actually said, because the summary is somewhat accurate, but I want to hear what they actually said. So then the next one is I got the transcript of the words of what they said to each other. So let's check that out.
Okay.
So from the February 2019 prison interview, say Graham, that's the one of the investigators there.
Oh, okay.
There was a lot to do about coming home and listening to that Metallica song. Had you heard about that? Chris said, I've heard of the Metallica song. Somebody sent me the lyrics to Battery. Graham said, do you remember that? Chris said, yeah, that was Nikki Kessinger. She liked the song or she just wanted to know what it meant. Graham said, why you looked it up? Chris said, I didn't have the CD with me. I just kind of looked up the words. Graham said, and was that on the way home? Chris said, And Graham said, oh, that was a different time. Chris said, that was a different time. Okay. Graham said, okay. And then Chris said, that's a coincidence because it says battery. It's more like a family coinciding as a battery, not like hitting somebody. So I'm just going to pause there. So Chris did have, I guess, some understanding about the song. I didn't think he did. So that kind of points to he knows a little bit more about the song than I thought. He may not know the whole meaning, but it sounds like he knows a little bit about it.
Oh, okay.
So then Tammy, the other investigator, said, why did Nikki want to know what it meant? Chris said, I don't know. It was kind of strange. I mean, she's very into different types of music I never really thought I'd ever listen to. And like, she got me into a few things there as far as music-wise. But like Battery was a song that she asked me because I knew Metallica pretty well. She just wanted to know, hey, what's these lyrics mean? I just looked it up to look at all the words together and just put it in my head again, and that was it. They just made something out of nothing. That was strange. I got those lyrics in a letter. Graham said, so now does that make sense? Chris said, yeah, someone sent me the lyrics to it. That guy from California, Chris said. Tell me the kid, the senior? And Chris said, yeah. So sorry to read that through. I know it's kind of boring, but I just want to, hear it word for word. But let me tell you, text versus audio. I just want to mention this. When reading the text, you can interpret the context differently from what is intended. For example, if you're reading a conversation, and somebody says, stop it, it could mean like this. And Chirac, I'm going to use you as an example here. I could say, stop it, like I'm angry, stop it. Or it could be like, stop it, that's funny or goofy. So I thought it'd be really cool if we went ahead and then let's listen to the actual audio. Okay. So I think it'd be a good idea. And then there's a lot of background noise to this. And again, Denver 7 ABC gets credit for this audio, but let me find it here. Okay. I'm going to play it, guys. Hopefully you can hear it. Okay. And we'll go from there. Just those few seconds. Those a couple minutes.
There was a lot to do about coming home and listening to that Metallica song. Have you heard about that?
I've heard of a Metallica song that people have been, someone sent lyrics to a Help Battery.
Do you remember doing that?
That was Nikki Kessinger. She liked the song, or she just wanted to know what it meant.
Oh.
So that's
why you looked it up?
Mm-hmm. I just kind of looked at I didn't have the CD with me, so I just kind of looked at the words a little bit.
And was that on the way home?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was just a different time?
That was a different time.
Okay, and so the music probably got over that.
Because it says battery.
Right, okay.
But it's it's more about like a family coinciding as a battery.
Okay.
Not hitting somebody.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why did Nikki want to know what it meant? How did that come up?
No, it was kind of strange. I mean, she's very into different types of music, and music I never really thought I'd ever listen to. And she got me into a few things there as far as music wise, but Battery was a song that she asked me because I knew Metallica pretty well. She just wanted to know hey, what's this lyrics mean? I just looked it up just to look at all the words together and just put it in my head again, and that was it. Just made something out of nothing. That's why it was strange. I got those lyrics in a letter.
Oh, so now does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, someone sent me the lyrics to it.
Yeah.
I think that guy from California.
The kid?
Yeah.
The senior?
Okay, so there you heard it, guys. Let me switch back to the presentation here. So, so what I say, I gotta switch over to Chirac's face, because she was like, when she was listening to it, she was like listening to it again. She's like giving me this weird look, tell me your thoughts. I want to hear this.
Well, did they ask NK that same question?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I have to go
That'd have
back.
been-
Those are a lot of hours.
This is how you catch people when you ask them the same question and see what the
I have to go
answer
back
are.
and look. I mean,
Both, don't you think so?
I'm believe it or not, I went through.
If you
all
ask
those
somebody,
hours, but
what did
not
you do
from-
yesterday, and somebody said, "Oh, we went here," and then somebody else
Doesn't sound like he's reaching for stuff. So let's get in. Hold on, let me back this up, because this is really interesting. So I don't know, and the whole thing of it is okay. Let me get back to the presentation, because I have some of these things to ponder, because that's really what I'm getting into as we're talking here. Was Chris listening to Battery by Metallica on the day of the murders? Meaning, was he really listening to the song when he was talking to NK? Maybe she's asking him, hey, what are you doing? And, she's like, he's like, oh, I'm listening to Metallica. Oh, yeah, what song? Oh, I like that. Or maybe she said, I like that song, Battery. What's the context? Was he really listening to the song, or was he not? Because in there it says, oh, I heard you were listening to a song. So what does that mean? I don't.
But is it relevant to the case?
Well, this is the thing, because if she mentioned it. That's the next slide. I want to get into it. I'll focus on Chris.
Okay, just focus on
So
Chris.
so Chris, part of it, was he really listening to the song? Like, I guess what I'm saying is, was Chris the one listening to Metallica or mentioning Metallica, and that's what triggered NK to say something about it? Or was it really vice versa? And then here's another thing too, just in general, as guys know, Chris lies a lot. So should we even believe what he says? Even if he's just recalling this stuff. Because
Exactly,
it's not
yeah.
like he was like, I think that was kind of weird. He's like thinking of things. And so even though we'd like to believe what he's saying is true, I'm wondering if he's trying to soften it so it doesn't sound like NK, was really bad at bringing it up. I don't know. It sounded really weird. I just don't know whether to believe Chris and whether he was really listening to the song or not. That was the part I wish I kind of knew, but let me know what you guys think. And things to ponder for NK. Did NK ask about the lyrics from like out of the blue? Did she just say, "Hey, Chris," they're having to
not.
talk and say, "Hey, you like Metallica? What's that song Battery? What are those lyrics about?" Was she looking it up? And it's just weird. And then why did NK ask about that particular song? Like, of all the Metallica songs, why did you say, what's Battery about? Was she, the people who think she's innocent would say, oh, maybe she was looking up Metallica songs and came across Battery and was wondering, what was that about? But why? Why would she know? I don't know. The whole thing is, why would she know that if he was listening to it, or why would she even bring that up? I have no clue. That's just weird. Unless she was bringing it up to relate to Chris or what they did. I don't know. I don't want to go too much into this. Is all allegedly.
Everything is allegedly.
And was it just a coincidence that she asked about Battery that day? I mean, come on. I mean, that's just. So I guess I'm trying to say, Shrock. I'm sorry, guys, if I'm going because my mind is spinning a million directions. I guess it's the thing. Did she the one that brought up Battery to begin with, or was he listening to it? Or looking it up and like was relating it to NK.
Listening to it and like, what are you doing? I'm listening to what is that? And then that could start a conversation. Like, who out of the blue just say...
Here, I'll show you something real quick. Yeah, what do you think? Here, let me go back. Sorry, guys. I want to go back to this part of the transcript. Come on, one more. See the beginning part? That was a lot to do about coming home and listening to that Metallica song. Had you heard about that? And not to be too analyzing every little word, but this is the investigator, not Chris. There was a lot to do about coming home and listening to that Metallica song. Have you heard that before? So he's pointing out like maybe he was listening to the song is what I'm trying to say. So I don't know, Shrock. Do you have any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, that is something kind of confusing as well. To see what
I want to see what other people have to think and say on that one, because I could see it both ways. I could see it that was NK, So anywho, sorry guys. Usually I'm not as boggled. Usually I'm more put together than this, but I am really confused as to who did first because we just don't have enough information. So tell me what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. We're gonna ponder it more. We'll probably talk about it later again because I surprised Shrock with this one too. She didn't know all was gonna be laying down here, but thank you guys so much again for all your feedback. Thank you for catching this. I totally forgot about that interview. In fact, what I want to do is go back and listen to the whole thing all over again. So I'm going to do that. But thank you guys again.
Thank you guys.
And we'll catch you in the next Chris Watts related video. So until next time, stay loose. We'll see you.